It's 3 a.m. The city's dead asleep, but my eyes are wide open, glued to a spreadsheet. The numbers blinking back at me aren't just data anymore. They feel like a report card for my entire life. Or at least that's what I tricked myself into believing. Every cell, every formula, every goal smashed was supposed to be a step toward what? Happiness? Success? But that night, staring into the monitor's glow, I didn't feel successful. I felt hollow, like a ghost haunting my own apartment. This wasn't the dream I was sold, this was a nightmare. And the architect of this whole mess was me. We're all told the same story, right? From the time we're kids, it's drilled into us. Reach for the stars. Set a goal, make a plan, work your tail off, and you'll make it. It's the big promise of our culture. Slogans like rise and grind and no days off aren't just hashtags. They've become the new gospel. Ambition, they tell us, is the engine of progress, the fuel for a good life. And for a while, it really works. I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. In my early 20s, my life was a roadmap. I had career milestones, financial targets, personal achievements all plotted out. Each goal was another rung on a ladder I was dead set on climbing faster than anyone else. And man, those early wins felt incredible. Every checked box, every target hit, was a little dopamine rush, telling me I was on the right path. Goals gave me direction, a purpose. It felt like I was in the driver's seat, building a future I could be proud of. From the outside, I looked like a picture of success. But here's the catch they don't mention. That engine of ambition? If you don't keep an eye on it, it can run so hot it melts everything around it. And that includes you. When ambition goes unchecked, it can lead to total burnout, broken relationships, and a tunnel vision so sharp, you can't see anything that actually matters. It's a paradox. The harder you chase happiness by achieving more, the faster it seems to run away. If any of this is starting to ring a bell, you're in good company. We're living in an age of what I call goal dysmorphia. Now, that's not a real clinical diagnosis, but it's the best way I can describe this warped, unhealthy relationship so many of us have with achievement. Think about body dysmorphic disorder, or BDD, which is a real mental health condition. With BDD, a person gets obsessed with a tiny flaw in their appearance, a flaw most people would never even notice. This isn't just vanity, it's a deep source of anxiety that can absolutely wreck a person's life. Goal dysmorphia runs on a similar mental track. But instead of a physical flaw, you're fixated on a perceived achievement flaw. You obsess over how you're not good enough, how you're falling behind, and the massive gap between where you are and where you think you should be. And just like BDD, this obsession is fueled by constant comparison. But we're not comparing ourselves to models in magazines. We're comparing our messy, real lives to the curated success stories that flood our social media feeds. We see the person who built a six-figure business from their laptop, the influencer backpacking across Bali, the friend who just bought a house. Hustle culture, championed by tech gurus and influencers, makes 80-hour work weeks sound glorious and treats rest like a weakness. This toxic environment hammers home a dangerous idea. Your worth is your output. Any day you're not crushing it feels like a personal failure, which just cranks up the anxiety and the fear of being left behind. This mindset is a setup. It pushes you to set these huge, sometimes impossible goals, totally ignoring that luck, timing, and a million other things are out of your control. So when you inevitably fall short of being superhuman, you take it all on yourself. I'm just not good enough. I didn't want it badly enough. But the problem isn't you. It's the broken system you've been sold. So how does a perfectly healthy drive to be better twist into something so destructive? It happens when the goal becomes more important than the why, the reason you set it in the first place. The psychology behind it is both fascinating and terrifying. Your brain's reward system, which is supposed to give you that hit of satisfaction when you accomplish something, gets hijacked. With goal dysmorphia, that satisfaction from hitting a target gets shorter and shorter until it's barely there at all. The second goal is met, your brain is already on to the next one, the bigger one, the harder one. The finish line just keeps moving. You're stuck in a loop of always striving but never arriving, which creates a constant, low-grade feeling of dissatisfaction. This is supercharged by what psychologists call all or nothing thinking. You're either a rock star success or a complete failure. There's no in-between, no credit for trying, no room for just being human. This forces you to hang your self-worth on external things. Instead of valuing who you are, you only value what you do. Your resume becomes your identity. This kind of relentless pressure is a one-way ticket to serious mental health struggles. It's a direct pipeline to chronic stress, anxiety, and depression. You feel guilty for taking a day off, you let your relationships wither, and you trade your health for a few more hours of productivity. The very ambition that was supposed to build you a better life starts tearing it down. It leads straight to burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that the World Health Organization recognizes as a syndrome caused by chronic, unmanaged stress at work. And the ultimate irony? This desperate push for high performance eventually tanks your performance because burnout torches your motivation and creativity. For me, the big breakdown wasn't some dramatic movie scene. It was more like a slow, silent collapse. It was realizing my relationships were hanging by a thread. Talking to friends and family started to feel like an interruption to my real work. I'd be there in person, but my mind was a million miles away, running through checklists and planning my next power move. My health was shot. I was running on fumes, caffeine, and pure adrenaline, ignoring the warning signs my body was screaming at me. The final straw came on a day that should have been a victory. I'd just landed a deal I'd spent over a year chasing. It was the biggest win of my career, the shiny trophy at the top of my goal list. I called my partner, ready to feel on top of the world. Instead, I just felt relief. The pressure was off, yeah, but there was no joy. Just a quiet, empty feeling. My partner's reaction wasn't the champagne-popping celebration I'd pictured. They just said quietly, "That's amazing, but I miss you. Even when you're sitting right here, I miss you." Those words hit me like a ton of bricks, harder than any failure at work ever could. I had climbed my ladder rung by painful rung, only to find out it was leaning against the wrong damn wall. I had achieved everything I thought I wanted, but I'd lost myself, and the people I cared about, along the way. The goals hadn't built my life. They had eaten it. I was so focused on the destination that I'd forgotten to look around during the journey. I wasn't living, I was just achieving. And I knew right then that if something didn't change, there'd be nothing left of me to save. Maybe my story hits a little too close to home. Maybe you're feeling that same pressure, that same burnout from running on a hamster wheel you built yourself. If you are, please know you're not the only one, and you don't have to live this way. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever felt like your goals were the ones in charge? Sharing these stories is how we start to take back control. Getting out of the goal dysmorphia trap isn't about killing your ambition. It's about redefining it. It's about swapping the hustle for smart persistence and trading external praise for a deep, internal sense of satisfaction. The way out starts with something that feels almost revolutionary in our culture: self-compassion. It means actually celebrating the small wins, giving yourself credit for the effort, and forgiving yourself when you're not perfect. It's understanding that messing up is a normal, necessary part of doing anything that matters. Next, it's about shifting your focus from the outcomes to the process. Instead of obsessing over the finish line, try to fall in love with the act of running. This means setting goals that connect with your real values, stuff you'd want to do even if no one was watching. Ask yourself, am I actually enjoying this? Am I growing as a person? These are things hustle culture can't put on a spreadsheet. We need to set goals in a healthier way. The SMART framework, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, is an awesome tool for this. It helps break down massive, scary ambitions into small, manageable steps, and try setting positive goals, Instead of, I need to be less stressed, try something like, I will take 10 minutes every morning just for myself. It all comes down to balance. Ambition is an amazing tool, but it's supposed to serve your life, not become your life. True success isn't about crawling to the summit, exhausted and alone. It's about enjoying the view on the way up. It's about building a life that feels as good on the inside as it might look from the outside. It's about being able to look at your life, your work, everything, not with dread, but with a sense of peace. Knowing the most important things can't be measured, and that right there is a goal worth striving for.